So, sorry. I went into hospital last month because my depression was bad. I was suicidal and I wanted to get ECT, which is electroconvulsive therapy, since it's what's been most helpful for me before. I told the ER psychiatrist that I'd had really bad negative experiences with involuntary hospital stays in the past. So I asked to be admitted voluntarily. He agreed. A few hours later, they walked me over to the acute behavioral stabilization unit, which I think is better referred to as the Psych ER jail. I was told by a nurse that I had to remove all my clothes, including underwear, and put on hospital PJs in front of her. The hospital gown and pajama bottoms both had strings I could have used to strangle myself if I'd been so inclined. So there's no way that me keeping on a pair of briefs was a reasonable safety risk. The way the nurse spoke to me felt really dehumanizing, and I decided that I wanted to leave and seek treatment elsewhere. I said that I was going to leave and asked for my things back. The nurse quickly snatched them away and headed into the locked nursing station, at which point I swore at her in the same kind of way I'm speaking now. She had pushed her panic alarm, and a bunch of security guards showed up. I kept repeating that I was voluntary and I wanted my things so I could leave. At that point, I was even slower than I am now, and my speech was even quieter. They stalled until they could get the doctor on the phone to agree to commit me involuntarily. The security guards then pushed me back on a stretcher and put me in 4-point restraints, so wrists and ankles. I was given loxapine and Ativan as an intramuscular injection. My left arm was pinned or restrained at an awkward angle above my head. It was painful. I called out that I was in pain and asked them to move the restraint down. It took probably half an hour before that happened. I later learned that the ER nurses had documented in my chart that I was yelling, paranoid, and combative, and I was certified under the Mental Health Act because I became psychotic. Again, I was speaking more quietly and slowly than I am now. I didn't say anything except that I was voluntary and wanted my things so I could leave. So it's quite a stretch to get paranoid from that. I made a complaint to the unit's clinical nurse leader and said the staff really needed in-service training on trauma-informed practice. I also made a complaint to the hospital's patient relations leader. I have no idea if they followed through on that. I've had no follow-up from them. Pulitzer Prize winning author Ron Powers wrote a book titled No One Cares About Crazy People. Sadly, I think that's the case far too often in our healthcare system. When seeking help is traumatizing, people will stop seeking help. I'm not suicidal now, but it seems very likely that suicide will take my life at some point because I am never going into hospital voluntarily again if that's how I'm going to be treated. So these people who are supposed to be helping, they really need to get the fuck out of positions where they're dealing with mentally ill people because they are going to cost lives, and that is not